Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Economic Development Committee meeting for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. We have a quorum present. First item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes from February 28th, 2018. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. All right. I enjoy doing these interesting and fun things that we get to participate in. And our first item for consideration is the Entrepreneurship Grants. We have 4 applicants who I think are all here with us. The city staff is supporting a recommendation from our committee for approval of financial assistance through the Entrepreneurship Support Program totaling $7,605 for the following businesses: Hubris Wealth, iBoutique Closet, C&W Market, and Best One Built. And welcome, Mr. Powell. What I'd like to do is, if the applicants would be comfortable doing so, is just hear a little bit about each of your businesses. We do have a bit of materials, but for the people who end up watching this live or on the video, it's always nice to kind of give you an opportunity to do that. So we're going to start with Hubris Wealth, if that's okay. We'll just go down the list. Sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Hubris Global Wealth Management is a full-scale wealth management company. We deal with all areas of financial planning. So that includes college planning, retirement planning, and also deal with individual investments as well as insurance products.
Great. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
I really appreciated the statement that you provided about how too frequently people think of wealth management as for, people who are really, really wealthy.
Yes.
But really everybody needs financial planning, and sometimes it's hard for people to figure out, who they can trust and what they should do. So I think it's needed everywhere.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I've kind of learned in my travels that a lot of people are not as familiar with the concept of generational wealth, and they do sort of think that only certain people have the ability to reach that milestone. So I've kind of made it my mission to help people understand generational wealth and then put them in a position to obtain and maintain that wealth.
Well, that's great, and it's very important. It's actually an aspect that we've been discussing a lot over the past several years in conjunction with housing. Because obviously that's an important component for that.
Definitely.
So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, iBoutique Closet. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Selena Roberson. I am the owner of iBoutique Closet located at 817 Main Street here in Evanston. We are a women's boutique of clothing and accessories for affordable clothing. So we also do alterations, recreations, and custom-made clothing at your convenience.
Very nice. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
C&W Market.
I can't say I'm
Evening,
not
Mr.
ready,
Weaver.
I was ready a few minutes ago. Hello, everyone. Yeah, good to see you. C&W Market and Ice Cream Parlor on the corner of Church and Dodge. We've been there.
Just tell us who you are. So
I'm Clarence Weaver, co-owner with my wife, Wendy Weaver. C is Clarence, W is Wendy. We've been there for 4 years. We have a convenience entrance on 1901, and we have a ice cream parlor entrance at 1700 Dodge. So our goal is to kind of enhance some of the things that we're providing for the community. We're looking to add a freezer for frozen goods, and we're looking to just upgrade the things that we're doing and provide better services to the community.
very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? All right, thanks a lot. And Best One Built.
I don't see him.
Okay, and we do have the materials for all of them.
We do have the written materials.
Yeah.
If we want to go through it now, we can. I spoke to him Friday, so he knows when the meeting was happening.
That's
Do
okay.
you want to come back to him, or do we want to go ahead and vote?
If he
can
gets here,
speak to-
yeah. Or you want to tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, so Evanston native resident, been doing business for decades, has experience in new construction, rehabs, has done work with institutions here in town, has a great reputation, great craftsmanship, and is an excellent businessman. He's worked previously with Lynn, who we're partnered with in this entrepreneurship support grant, and he is a minority-owned business as well. And I support the business.
Terrific. And as far as the recommendation to the council, can we do this all four together, or do we need to break those down?
I think that's how we've done it in the past.
That's what I thought.
with these,
Okay.
so-
All right, is there a motion to, how do we word it in the, I'm shuffling back and forth here. Is there a motion to recommend the approval of the financial assistance through this program for the four businesses?
Move approval.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will have that recommendation forwarded to the council. Thank you, all of the applicants, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
14th of May, we'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
And next on our agenda are 2 applications for Storefront Modernization Grants.
I think Squeezebox is on first.
How about Stepping Out on Faith on first?
I wasn't sure if he was coming or if his wife was, because I was mostly talking to her.
Jump to the next item.
Yeah, how about Stepping Out on Faith?
No, Faith, I know she's not here, and I left her a message today and Friday.
Okay. Well, we're going through this. We usually, these meetings are longer, and
Yeah.
I think let's start later than this.
Maybe we do Rebuilding Warehouse then?
Okay, how about Rebuilding Warehouse? We have, we'll just go over that agenda item. So we have on the agenda next the small business workforce funding and the request from Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse. Mr. Zelmazak?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. By the way, welcome as new committee chair. It's
Thank you.
nice to have you. Tonight we're seeking a recommendation to the City Council to provide financial assistance to the Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse for an amount not to exceed $15,000. This is for a program that we created 2 years ago, and I think Mr. Powell was one of our inspirations for the program. This is the Small Business Workforce Development Program. The idea is we'll let the private sector kind of design a training program of $3,000 maximum per employee, up to 5 employees, and that would help kind of develop the workforce, but also we hope retain and expand businesses who are maybe struggling to attract talent. So the Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse has a program that I'll have Ms. Gutierrez explain in a moment. But it's a program that really is, I think, cutting edge because it deals with this deconstruction of housing. You know, there's a lot of demolition that occurs, and all that demolition material ends up in a landfill. So Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse does a program where they deconstruct, and it ends up with a number of certifications for the individuals who go through the program. So I'll step aside and invite Ina up to the microphone, and then if you have questions about the program, and just again to refresh, years ago, I can't believe how long it's been, Kurt's Cafe came to us a number of times for a similar funding request. And we decided that at that time, and part of it was because of Mr. Paul, that we should probably standardize this and let our businesses fairly kind of request a similar type of funding. So this is our first one. So it'd be interesting to hear how you feel about it.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for
Welcome.
having me. I'm Ina Gutierrez. I'm the new director of the Evanston Rebuilding Warehouse, and apparently your guinea pig for the program. We've applied for our workforce development program that we called the Evanston Rebuilding Workforce. It is a program that engages Evanston, primarily Evanston residents, into a 7-month paid workforce training program that prepares people for careers in deconstruction and construction trades. It is full-time work. It is $10 an hour, and the residents of the trainees of this program spend about 80% of their time in on-the-site deconstruction projects that we coordinate, deconstructing homes and saving, in the last year, 4.4 million pounds of building material that would have gone to landfills. They receive professional certifications, and at the end of that and then there's 20% of classroom work in which we provide a decertification in deconstruction. We provide an OSHA 10 training, so all the technical construction skills, as well as training for life skills, professional and personal development. So we do health and wellness classes. We partner with First Bank and Trust on financial literacy. We're starting to work with peer services on drug dependency and education around that. So coupling the on-the-job training with the soft life skills and professional skills. They graduate from the program, and then we help place them into construction, trade, union apprenticeship, and deconstruction jobs. It's a very new program. It's 3 years old. And we currently have 5 trainees, 4 of which are Evanston residents, born and raised in Evanston, that are going through the program. We also have 2 former trainees on our staff, so we see ourselves as we're growing and as demand for deconstruction continues to be able to bring on some of the trainees ourselves as a deconstruction employer. And it's also really timely for the construction trades. There's a lot of, when the recession hit, a lot of the apprenticeship programs stopped completely because there wasn't work for them to do. Now there's a big labor shortage in construction, and labor projects are stopped because there aren't skilled labor. So we're providing a program that's actually providing skilled labor for those programs, and also we have currently 2 women and 3 men of color. And so we're also trying to help racially and gender diversify the construction trades. So we're looking for your support. It is an expensive program to run. $3,000 per person does not even remotely cover, but because we are a nonprofit and a social enterprise, these types of investments will help us grow and allow us to both bring on more trainees in the future and hopefully hire them ourselves.
Yes, Alderman.
Well, I think it's a fantastic program. And I have one question for you. So
Of course.
once someone completes the program, what is sort of the prevailing wage that someone can earn sort of steadily doing this?
Sure. So, I mean, to give an example, in the union apprenticeship program, we're seeking a more formal relationship with the carpenters, the Regional Council of Carpenters right now. Their apprenticeship program is 5 years. So you'll make $10 an hour with us for 7 months. You'll start your first year as an apprentice at $16 an hour. Within 5 years, if you become a journeyman, you can make more than $40 an hour, as well as benefits that are offered through the Building Trades Union. So it is not, we're not actually just seeking jobs for people, we're seeking careers.
Careers, right. Yeah. Well, I have a couple. Just by happenstance, I was at the rebuilding warehouse with a personal issue. I was looking for something, and of course. I thought, I'll go and I ended up getting tremendous amount of information from your staff and also a customer who came through who joined the conversation. So, very helpful information about restoring something. But walking through there, I'm always amazed at how much you're able to save from places, or how much that would otherwise go to waste. I mean, just exquisite, beautiful things, all the way to doors and, beautifully made doors. Just the volume is just incredible. And so I think that's remarkable. But the thing I really appreciate about this is that you're training people for safety. And that's really, really important, because too often someone just goes into this and gets hurt, without proper training or understanding what laws there are to protect them. So
That's right. And I will say that our founder, Lou Dixon, is currently running the program. So we've had a transition in our organization. She's a very well-respected and well-known contractor in the area and is very above board on all things related to the construction industry. And so it's really helpful. She knows what the best practice standard is, and she trains our trainees on how to do it. So thank you.
Great. And, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I just need a question. So I was looking, at your materials that you provided. So I'm just trying to understand. So there's been, up until this date, 32 people in your program?
So we do cohorts of 6, ideally, for a 7-month period, and then they go through the classroom portion and the training portion. We have some attrition through the course of the program, so we're trying to figure out, being 3 years old, how we work with our population better to stop that attrition. But those cohorts of 6, so we've had 5, I think, graduate so far.
And that started in
2014.
2014. And so how successful have you been in placing folks in this
Yeah.
journeyman?
Yeah, so we have trainees. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting when people go through a 7-month experience. Some people come through and they're on their way to careers. They do the apprenticeship program route. They're hired by construction. Others, after 3 months, are like, this is not for me. Like, this is hard work. It's cold outside. So our standards are really, ideally, is building a career in the construction trades. I would say the next level is just consistent employment. Part of the reason why we have the length of our program is we want people to get into the practice of getting up every day, starting work on time, the expectations and behaviors that go along with having consistent employment. So I think I would, I don't have the percentages right in front of me. The vast majority have moved on to successful employment. I will say they're not all in the construction trades. They've decided they want to do other things. But we have people that have gone back to get forklift certifications, CNC type things. So mechanical related trades, but maybe not careers in the construction trades initially.
Robin, did you want to talk?
No.
Okay. People aren't in their usual chairs. Like, it says who it is, and I'm like, which light is that? Okay. And I've had similar experiences to Alderman Wind. I've been there. You have taken large pieces of granite from me that I didn't know what it was. But it's great to know that something is going to go to a really good use. And, just the idea that you maybe would throw something like, significant away, or just, put it in a landfill or break it up and destroy it. Is not a happy thought. So I'm grateful for that. But just kind of seeing the trajectory that you guys have been on,
yes,
it seems to me that this is the kind of investment that will continue that path. And much like Kurt's Cafe, you achieve a certain level of success, and then you don't require the government investment anymore, because you kind of get your footing, you're strong, and you continue with the trajectory. So. This seems to be a solid investment from my perspective. Alderman.
I didn't want my no comment to be misread as anything other than absolute support for what you're doing. I, too, have gone with issues and needed doors and random cabinets or whatever as a consumer. But at the dais, seeing what you're doing to establish and support careers and not just jobs is really exciting. And to see that you're working in a green space and looking to reduce waste, and those numbers of the waste reduction is just amazing, right? So thank you for everything that you're doing, and I certainly will be supporting this grant.
Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Okay. Any more questions?
Just one comment. I think this is fantastic. I didn't know this existed.
Oh, thank you.
I think, knowing a little bit about the construction industry, the demand is certainly there. I can attest to that. And that's only going to get stronger as some bigger projects come online.
Yeah, we think so too, and we'd like to be in a position to take advantage of that opportunity, especially projects in Evanston with Evanston residents. So thank you.
I wanted to add something. I need your support
Oh,
on that.
sure.
So, something I guess I didn't fail to mention it, but I didn't bring it up in my introduction. After we had submitted the staff report, Ms. Gutierrez asked if it would be possible to be reimbursed earlier in the process. Our guideline is set up where I think after 90 days after somebody's placed and then working at a job for 90 days, then they would get reimbursed. Do you want to explain what you're requesting? She would like to be reimbursed earlier in the cycle. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is one of the requirements is that we have our community services manager, Kevin Brown, review these applications. And he isn't here this evening, but he is a supporter of this program, and we'll call it validated this program and recommended its approval as well. But it'd be helpful if you could explain when in the cycle you wanted
Sure.
to seek reimbursement?
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, two things. We have a lot of great community partners and nonprofits in the city. The City of Evanston Youth and Outreach Department is one of our partners. In the beginning of the process, we seek social service agencies to recommend trainees for our program that then will stay with the trainees to make sure that they're successful. So we don't have anyone referred from the city at the moment, but we have 2 from Kurt's Cafe and 1 from YOU. So we're definitely working with our partners doing their wraparound services and working together on the same population. We did ask, if possible, to be able to receive the reimbursement slightly sooner because we do plan on hiring on a second team, and so we need the cash to be able to do that. We're also a very small organization. We're a $900,000 budget, and we have 11 staff. So you would imagine for such a small business that the cash flows can be an issue. So I did ask if it would be possible. We are confident we can place every one of the trainees that are reimbursed through this program in employment, but if we were be able to file for the reimbursement at the time of employment versus waiting the 90 days, that would be helpful to us as we grow.
Okay. Mr. Powell?
Mr. Powell, if the committee recommended to the city council could amend that rule for this case.
Okay. All right, so if you could just include that in the council packet, the deviation from the way it usually works, so it's clear. Okay. Okay, is there a motion to recommend?
As a move.
Second.
I gotta finish my whole thing. Motion recommend to the council.
And that's
Mr. Powell said yes. He's already did that.
Yes.
Because he's way ahead of me. All right, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will make that recommendation
And we're
to the
also
council.
recommending
Thank
that
you very
they
much.
get funding earlier.
It'll be,
As part
that'll
of
be
it.
in the packet, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got that?
Thank you. We really
With a
appreciate
notice
the
to the
support.
reason in the packet, council packet.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thank
evening.
you.
That's the
Okay, so we have the modernization grants. Is that one of the applicants?
So, Mr. Chair, we have 2 storefront modernization grants tonight. Both applicants are not present. Traditionally, they have been present, and I have texted one of them, and I haven't heard a response. So either we can consider them tonight and have a conditional approval that they'd have to be at City Council before, so they would be able to answer questions from the committee or for the council if you so choose, or we'll have to wait until the next meeting. I know Mr. Peterson of Squeezebox, he's building out his space at the corner of Sherman and Main, and I know he's probably eager to move on, but we do like to have our applicants present.
Right, I understand that. Is there,
Don.
on
Well, I mean, Tim Peterson used to represent, before Maine Dempster Mile was created, he was the representative of the Dempster Chicago merchants and regularly appeared before us. So for the merchants grant. And so I'm kind of surprised he's not here. I would think that there must be some extenuating circumstance for why he's not here. I'm really impressed that he's able to move to a much larger space, and I think it's his business. It just shows that this is another one of those destination businesses that actually can thrive here in Evanston. So, I'd like to move this forward to the council with the request that he be there, and I'm sure you and I, Paul, can make sure that he is there. I think there must have been some kind of
I
mix-up.
agree.
Right, and I think as far as a logistics perspective is concerned, kicking it to the next committee meeting for this committee really bumps it out kind of far, and then that kind of puts the council in a situation where we might be looking at having to suspend the rules or situations like that. So I think logistically, they also are very straightforward. I mean, the bids are in for both of them. It seems pretty straightforward and simple.
And it's the type of things we've been doing regularly. So neither of these are really unusual requests.
Okay, so is there a motion to conditionally recommend the application for Squeezebox with the condition being that someone representing the applicant be at the city council meeting when it's presented for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and then the second one was a similar request for stepping out on faith at 1632 Orrington. Is there a motion that we conditionally approve that, with the condition being that the applicant or a representative for the applicant be at the council meeting when it's presented for introduction?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very good. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, Mr. Zamazak, for the and Ms. Plant for the materials in the packet. We also have some communications. Those are in the packet as well. Does anyone have any questions of the staff with regard to the economic development communications, the transfer tax report, or the other announcements, or any other announcements? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So other announcements. I asked for a report from Economic Development. Oh, I'm sorry. And I haven't received it. So I'm not sure if it's coming to this committee or if it's going to City Council.
Can you please reference the report? Is this the West Evanston Plan report? I believe Director Leonard, when she returns from maternity leave, will be presenting to the City Council
Okay.
in June,
Thank you.
if that's what you're referencing.
That is, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Right.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time and energy.